Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Swannanoa Valley. My name is Dan Hadley, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. Now, we are a welcoming congregation, committed to supporting one another in our search for spiritual meaning and in our desire to make a difference for the group. All are welcome here to share, learn, and be your truest self. Together we create a force more powerful than one person or one belief. We like to say, you don't have to think alike to love alike. Now, if you are new to you, I encourage you to take notice of our mission statement on the front, which I'm going to read. The mission is to nurture spirituality, inspire growth and learning, and the search for truth, and challenge us to live our values conscientiously through service and example. Wow, what a mission. We also affirm and promote the 8 principles which are on the inside of the order of service. And you can take this home, reflect on it. It's our tradition to welcome first and second time visitors, or if you haven't been here for a while, to stand if you're comfortable and introduce yourself and tell us where you're from. I'll start on this side. I think I see some new faces, so anybody, you want to, oh, an announcement. You want to stand up and just, thank you.
That's Jan. January.
Hello. Anybody else on this side? Please.
Angel.
Angel.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning. Nice.
We just moved here 7 months ago. Florida.
From Florida. It's a good place to be from. I shouldn't have said that. Are there any first or second time visitors on this side?
Pardon me, my name is Joseph Maloney. I've been here for about 4 or 5 years. I was greeted in the area by catching COVID and then some various other problems. And I'm just here looking to see what this is all about. That's it.
Welcome. Now, if you're interested, we have another person on this side? Hello?
Okay. I'm Katie. I was here in January from California.
Yeah.
Kind of just checking out to see what it's all about.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. Now, if you're interested in learning more about us,
Yeah, exactly.
you can find a small white card where the hymnals are. And if you don't see one there, there you go. That's what it is. I think the person, there are some out in the foyer that you get. If you fill it up, you don't win a prize, but you will be able to keep informed of what is going on here that may have interest you, because there's a lot of things going on, more than just the service today. Okay. You'll get our newsletter and get updated on things. Okay. So you fill it out and you can leave it at the foyer there, and we'll follow up, won't we?
Somebody will, I don't know. I don't follow up on you. I'll call you, you'll know me. You'll hear me.
Please come and find a seat. Welcome. Okay, I have one announcement, and you would have seen this if you read the monthly mailing. Anyway, we're doing a photo directory again. It's been a space of a few years when we didn't do this. And what we'd like to do is to have our directory, which has names and addresses and stuff, and members and friends, a picture. I don't know about you, but as I get older, I recognize faces, but so it's a directory. And the way it works is you can send a picture into us. Let's see, what we got. And you'll see in the
Current.
Hmm?
In the current.
Current, that's the word we need. You know, of a certain age and words just kind of. Okay, let's give it a send your photo, or if you're interested, please.
I just want to let you know, I'm Carol Sheeler,
Yeah.
put that announcement in, send the pictures to me. I put in my, my email, and I'm already getting, and you can text, I'm already getting pictures from you. They're real, some of them are real creative. So, if you don't, Barbara's been here taking pictures. Where are you, Barbara? And I can do it too. So we're trying to get this together.
But it'll be very helpful, please.
And we were asked to wear something that's indicative of what we like to do. One year I wore my bathing suit and goggles. No, it's just a headshot. So,
Oh.
do you want to wear something that's that too?
Question, do we have
Hold
anybody in the
on, I'm gonna be the foil here. This is not a town meeting, it's a worship service. So, and we have guests here, so we want them to think that we're not as dysfunctional as the town. So why don't we do this afterwards? And then you, cause you're an actor, and we know how we love the airtime. Because it's 5 after, we wanna get you out by 12.
Okay. Pay attention, there's a movie coming up that's worth watching, in the middle. Okay. If you'd silence your cell phones, turn off your hearing aids. The service will begin.
Well, good morning, everybody. And it's nice to see some new faces. And you picked an interesting, you picked a good Sunday to come. This is our fundraising Sunday. So the doors are locked and you're Anyway, our opening words this morning are from Unitarian Universalist Marta Valentin. We pause this morning from the chaos of the world to reclaim the beauty within these walls. We lift this community onto our shoulders, we carry in order to get us through the week. That's why we come here, to get the energy that we need to really get through the week. And so we lift this community onto our shoulders with pride and grace-filled expectations for our children and our children's children. And so with that in mind, I invite you, thank you, Diane, to rise as you are willing and able, and join in singing hymn number 39, Bring, O Lord, Thy Music. Hymn number 39. Our reading this morning is brief and to the point. It's number 473 in the back of the gray hymnal. Number 473. Just a reminder to those veterans here of our church and also for the newcomers. So let's read this together. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is his law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Always easier said than done, but that's what we strive to do. And so, with that said, I invite you to join us for Joys and Concerns. Diane, would you light their fires? And so, the floor is yours, the mic is here, and feel free.
I don't need the mic, I got a big voice. Thank you all for your care, your visits, your cards. Thank you very much. It's been a long time, but I am fine. Thank you all, and thank you, Minister, for your special visit. It helped a lot.
It's always a pleasure.
I just have a quick little, probably forward. I just want to say that Dan was up here a couple of moments ago. Out of the blue, I needed to have someone drive me to an MRI, and Carol Shorter? Shorkey, gave me a little list, and I asked Dan or Daniel to take me for an MRI, and he said sure. That's the kind of people
Yes.
that are here. Oh.
Hi, I'm Barbara Rogers. I just want to pinpoint how much I love this as a congregation, even though I call it church on my address book. Because I was reading a book called The Blue Zones about these people that live to be 100 and how they do it. And one of the statistics said that people who are going to a gathering of people of faith, any denomination, live 4 to 14 years longer than others. So you'll see me a lot more.
You're a model.
Good morning, I'm Susan Landis, and I have a candle of joy for two reasons. One is these candles are for the spirit of loving kindness and compassion. And I saw it witnessed this past week. My mom is 93, she suffers from dementia and has been in the hospital for 2 weeks. She's still my mom, and that loving spirit shined through despite discomfort, despite confusion, despite pain, for my brother and I, through smiles, through kisses, through hand holdings, and through funny things that she said. I'm very grateful during that time that my mom's spirit shone through. She helped us, even though she's 93. She's always our mom. The second loving kindness and compassion part of that candle is for service. My mom was the example, the service of those healthcare workers, ambulance drivers, nurses, custodians, cafeteria workers, people who check you in and out. Their kindness and compassion was unheralded and just appreciated a lot. So thank you to those people.
Good morning, I'm Maggie O'Neill. I'd like to light a candle of compassion for my husband Al. He had his second back surgery this past week for a pain he's been having for almost 2 years. The first surgery didn't work. So please hold him in your thoughts and prayers. His name is Al.
I'd like to would you light a candle of joy for me? We're getting the meds for our rescue. And it's helping me because I can't handle it. I mean, this pup, it's not a puppy, he's 67 pounds. And he would run down this aisle and you could stand here and you go, well, he's gonna stop, isn't he? And he won't. He will body slam you, and he's just as sweet as he can be. I have bruises, I've been abused. But we're getting the meds just right. He's got some attention deficit stuff going on. And I'm just grateful. But he's beautiful. His name is Ed. We call him Bubba. I've mentioned him. He's a beautiful pitty. I love pit bulls. And so I'm very, very happy. And I'm going to the chiropractor, and I have insurance. And I love it. I love this church. For those of you who, for whatever reason, decided not to come up here, listen, we keep you in our hearts and minds and in our thoughts and prayers. And so with that said, thank you. And I invite you now to join us in the spirit of prayer and meditation. You know how to do that best for yourselves, and we will have our time of quiet afterwards. This reading is called The Chalice of Our Being. Each morning we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and to give back. Each morning we hold out our chalice of being to be filled with the graces of life that abound. Air to breathe, food to eat, companions to love, beauty to behold, art to cherish, and causes to serve. They come in ritual procession, these gifts of life. Whether we deserve them, we cannot know or really say. For they are presented to us with a thing called grace. Ours is to hold steady the chalice of our being. We carry the chalice with us as we go, either meandering aimlessly or with determination in our eyes. We share its abundance if we have any sense, reminding others as we remind ourselves of the chalice contents that we don't really deserve. Water from living streams fills it if only we could hold it with each other faithfully. And so we give back if we can, something of ourselves, someone to love, some beauty, some truth. We give back in gratitude what we can, something like that poured into our chalice of being for those who stay with us and will follow. Each morning, we hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and to give back. And so, I got you now. While our minds are one, just briefly, I leave you with the eloquence of silence. And so it is. As you've heard me quote before from my favorite philosopher, William James, well, I'll try something new. We'll just collect this morning's offering. Don't have to be profound all the time. rise as you are willing and able. And let's sing hymn number 6. Just as long as I have breath. Hymn number 6. Please be seated. In the book of Matthew, chapter 13, we're told that the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure that was hidden in a field. And a man discovered it, and because of his great enthusiasm, and because of his great joy, he went and sold everything he had to purchase that field. Again, the teacher tells us that the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant who was seeking pearls, great pearls. And when he found one costly pearl, he went and sold everything that he had, and he purchased it. Here we are again, this time of year. It's canvas time. And as I do every year, because they're new people, and of course, people who are members and have attended regularly, I want to raise this question. Now that you have found this pearl of great price, and I'm talking about this congregation, I'm talking about UUCSB. Now that you have found this liberal, free-thinking religion, philosophy, call it what you will. Now that you found this community, what would you do to keep it? What would you do without it? This little island of blue in a sea of red. What would you do? Because however you answer that question, that is the bounty of your faith. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And so here we are again, it's Canvas Sunday, and when we think of Canvas Sunday, we normally think of the Sunday where the minister gives a fundraising sermon to raise funds for the church. The minister, if he or she is good at it, is supposed to do it like a dentist, first gently administering the drugs, the Novocaine, to numb the pain, and then going through the tough stuff about raising money, but in a painless way so that the patients won't feel it. Another way we put it is time, talent, and treasure Sunday. And so we talk about the time and the talents and the treasure we're going to pledge to the church. Or we may even talk about like being a steward. Like on an airplane, making sure the passengers are comfortable and you're tending to their needs and so forth. Yet stewardship, and I want to talk more about that for a few minutes, or canvassing, it's not about that narrow slice of life that we call offerings to the church. It's not about that. It's not about the narrow slice of time, talents, and treasures that we give to the congregation. That's important as well. But stewardship, and Dan and I were talking about this last week, is taking care of the precious property and people that we have been entrusted with by life itself. That's what stewardship is. It's a paradigm shift. You gotta change the way you look at things. It's the intentionality behind our giving that makes the difference. And it's very important. When I used to go to this religious science church in Manhattan when I was living in New York, and I was still into metaphysics. And it was a pretty well-to-do church. It was in Alice Tully Hall, right at the Met. So the rent was significant. And the minister there, Dr. Stuart Grayson, who was, passed on to life after life, he would tell people, and I would be like, whoa, man, they must be made of brass. He would say, if you don't want to give the money, then don't come here. Don't come. He said, because I don't want your money. And I don't know, he was a great actor, because I was like, well, how are you going to pay? But he would say, don't know, because if you don't have your intentionality, if you're begrudging, well, let me just give him. He would say, keep it. Keep it. I don't want that energy of the money. Give, but give with an open heart. And that's what I'm going to say to you this morning, because it's a paradigm shift. It's the intentionality behind our giving that makes the difference. We all have blessings to be thankful for. To whom much is given, much is required. So do you believe, it's rhetorical, but do you believe that you are doing all you can do in the area of giving? And if not, what do you think hinders you from doing more? Now, some people will say, if I had a better job, I would be able to give more. Some people may say, if I could just get out of debt, I would give more. But what most people I find, and that includes me, you don't need more money. You need more motivation. You need more motivation. And this is why I love this story from the Hindu spiritual tradition. One evening, it's about stewardship, a holy man, an ascetic, was just getting ready to sleep under a tree. It had been a long day. And he was approached by a villager who just came running up to him and asking him to give him a precious stone. And the ascetic was a little confused. He was a little groggy. He wanted to rest. He said, what are you talking about? He said, what stone are you talking about? And the man said, Lord Shiva came to me in a dream last night and told me that if I came to this place at dusk tonight, a very devout holy man would give me a precious stone that would make me unbelievably wealthy. And the ascetic, like a light bulb went off. He said, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he went in his bag, he rummaged in his bag, had a big old smile on his face. And he said, Lord Shiva probably meant this one. And the guy just grabbed it. He grabbed it, and he said, and the ascetic said, I just found it today. I just found it in the forest today. He said, but you can certainly have it. And the villager just gazed at the stones, this diamond that was, the kaleidoscope, the way the light was hitting it, and it was as big as his fist. And he took it, and he walked away. He didn't even look back. But when he got home that night, he found that he had insomnia. He couldn't sleep. He was having trouble sleeping. And so without getting any sleep that night, the next morning he rushed to that same spot under that tree, found the holy man, and he gave it back. He said, no, I don't want this. He said, this is a lot of trouble. I don't want this. He says, I want whatever it is you have that would make you give it away so easily. That's what I want. You can take this back. And so this brings us to the heart of stewardship. Stewardship is not about your money. We need your money. But it's not about that. It's bigger than that. It's about two things. It's about gratitude, and it's about you having to know the difference between possession and the trust. So we'll start with gratitude. You've heard this ad nauseum, but it is the gift that keeps on giving. It's at the heart of any spiritual tradition, because the best kind of giving is thanksgiving. That's the best kind of giving. If you got a bug up your you-know-what about, I don't have it, then keep your money. We welcome you here, but we don't want that. We want your positive energy. We want your intentionality. We want your loving heart. That's probably worth more than whatever you're going to give us in the first place anyway. Garrison Keillor describes guilt as the gift that keeps on giving, and Freud, of course, said that guilt was what made civilization work. But they were both wrong, because what makes civilization work is gratitude. It's gratitude. Gratitude is the link between receiving and giving. It sets up an endless waterfall of giving, because it's both two sides of the same coin. At times it can truly appear that in our culture, in 2023, in Western culture, it appears that our culture teaches entitlement rather than gratitude. But the deeper truth is everything we have comes to us as a gift. Everything. Why? I'm glad you asked. You're curious. Because you're going to be dead and you can't take it with you. So everything is a gift. It's a gift. You can't take it with you. And so the gift is in every breath, every opportunity, every moment of life is an opportunity. And you're creating the future by what you do today. Because the past is what? It's already gone. It's gone. You can't do anything about it. But what we do today creates the future. So becoming conscious of that reality, changing your consciousness, changes us from the inside out. Research demonstrates that gratitude contributes powerfully to human health, to human happiness, and social connection. For those who think it's woo-woo or it's too mushy, there's data, there's scientific data to support what I'm saying here. So initiating even a single contact with someone when you feel grateful has an effect on moods that can last for months. For months. You want to cultivate an attitude of gratitude? Take a moment and think of 2-3 things that you have received as blessings or gifts, and notice the gratitude that comes up. You don't even have to create it. If you got a pulse, it just comes up. You do this each night before you go to sleep. Do it before you go to sleep at night. And then watch how your awareness shifts and increases. The gifts come to you, and your response to them begins to change, right? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at begin to change. Possession and trust, because we beat that horse with gratitude. I hope we got it. The difference between a possession and a trust. When we view something as a possession, we think of it as mine. That is mine. You get away from this. It's mine. We do this with our relationships too. You belong to me, Diane. Don't you think? Okay. But when we view it as a trust, we recognize that rather Diane being mine, and we're good friends, so I can tease. But rather than looking at anything or anyone as simply mine, you look at it as mine to take care of. A steward is a person who takes care of precious property which is not his or her own. Now, you are also expected to develop your talents and your gifts, to put them to use so that there's a return on the investment, so that there's a yield. Time, talent, and treasures are not to be hoarded. They're not to be, you put your light under a bushel. That doesn't do anybody any good. And we need your time and your gifts here at UUCSB. Sharing what we have been given in trust with others is putting them in service so they can what? Be a blessing to others, to our community. And those people in turn, the recipients in turn, they'll be grateful for the infinite variety of gifts, and they pass it on. And this is how the world changes, one person at a time. And so gratitude works as the gift that keeps on giving. So again, it's rhetorical. But now that you found this congregation, what would you do without it? What would you do if we weren't here? Would you want the people in this community? And we've had 10, we've had 7 people join this church in 10 days. So we're sitting on a gold mine. No, I need that. Because when people come here, they say, Michael, they say it to you. Boy, it's so much love here. It's so warm here. I feel at home here. They didn't say anything about money. They say that's not why they came here, and that's not what we're looking for. But we're sitting on a gold mine here. Look how we've grown. Look how we continue to grow. Not just with butts in the seats, but our outreach. What we're doing with religious education. This is it. This is it. And so what would you do if we weren't here? If the country continues to kind of do this kind of right thing, a little too far right, you're gonna need a little open-mindedness, right? We don't care who you sleep with. We don't care if you smoke. We don't care about that. We don't care if you're saved or not. That's not what it's about. You know, it's hard being a human being. Do you want them to lose the possibility of finding what you've had here? What you have here in this congregation that lifts up and tries to live out the 8 principles that we have? A congregation that attempts to teach children these principles so that they can go out and try to make their way out into a beautiful and broken world, to live out these principles in their everyday lives. You don't want people missing out on that, do you? Want to share it? Of course you do. I've attended a few UU congregations in my time in New York when I was there and serving some congregations, and people loved our philosophy, loved it. Loved it. Attended our adult RE classes, ate up all the food at the potlucks. Ate it all up, socialized, and they made good friends, and they came for pastoral care advice. They believed whatever, I don't know what I was telling them sometimes. I needed help just as bad as they did. And they came for counseling, and they wouldn't make a financial pledge. They wouldn't do it. And you know, well, I'm not a joiner. You're here. And there's nothing wrong. I'm not really either. But their response to the canvas was, we think religion should be free. Even though they took advantage of all the services, and you had to remind them that somebody had to pay. Somebody had to pay. And there's only one reason to join a UU congregation or fellowship. You know, we got all kinds of names, churches, fellowships, societies. There's only one reason to join here, and that's to support us. Why? Because it's a noble endeavor. Because it's open to human beings and the animal kingdom. All sentient beings are welcome here. Every race, creed, color, or place of origin. We have a free pulpit where you can hear ideas expressed here which would cost any other minister in any other denomination their career. You want to support it because it's a place where you can attend, where your children are not asked to bear the cross and splinters of guilt or the threat of eternal damnation and hellfire. That's worth the price of admission there. It is where children and adults can learn that religion is to get you through the rough times. It's for love. It's for comfort. It's for joy. It's not about judging you. You want to support it because this is a place where walls can be torn down instead of built up. It's easy to forget that. It's a place of refuge for persons who've been wounded from their religion of origin. You can come here and heal. Interracial marriages, unwanted free thinkers, those who challenge religious orthodoxy, you can come here and work out your beliefs without someone saying, well, I need to pray for you. Boy, you are lost. All who wander are not lost. You want to support this congregation because we are more concerned with human beings than we are with dogma. Because we search for the holy rather than dwell on who and who is not saved. Because we call no one sinner here. Not unless you use it in the original Greek, which means you fall short. Well then, okay, we're human beings. We all fall short. Yet we attempt to understand how deep is the struggle in each person's heart to what? To become fully human. It is hard work to be a good human being. To be fully human, to be authentic, to take off the mask. Some of us don't even know we have a mask on. We want you to take it off here. Well, we'll just remind you that, hey, is that really you? Or is that who you were taught to be? We want you to hunger for the good, the beautiful, and the true. You want to support this congregation because you can see we're not afraid to laugh. We stand for something more when living in a time when churches are more concerned, again, with who you sleep with and if you drink or you smoke. They're more concerned with that than about racism and poverty and war. You want to support this church because it calls you to worship what is truly worthy of your sacrifice. You hear me speak ad nauseum with the offertory with my good brother William James. He says that the greatest use of life is to spend it on something that will outlast it. What do you want to leave behind? What's your legacy going to be? We're an older congregation. You want to start thinking about that if you haven't already. Because some of y'all, I'll be doing your funerals, and some of you may be at mine. To put it another way, the gifts of life are free, but that doesn't mean they don't cost anything. This is your congregation. This is yours. I work for you. This is your community. This is your spiritual home. It's not a place of employment. You don't work here, so it's no competition. We don't want that. It's not a cocktail party. I wish it was sometimes. But we're not here to judge and to be judged. We're here to love, at least try to. That's what we're here to try to do. We're here to share what we have and what we are, what we hope, what we dream for, and most importantly, what we need. And so we build for all those yet unknown who will come here and sit where you're sitting and worship. This is the bounty of our faith. We make a living by what we get. I'm just reminding you, I haven't lost my page. But we make a life by what we give. So we're pretty much done now. So we want to leave here and we want to rejoice. Right? We want to be exceedingly glad. I love those old-timey words. We have much to contribute and there's much to do. And we have much to show gratitude for. So, go in peace. Give your very best this week. And let's go forward now and collect and receive our good. Amen. Ashe. And blessed be. All righty. Closing hymn. Apropos, this little light of mine. Number 118. Please rise as you are willing and able. Okay, so show the maestro some love. And just a reminder before these closing words, listen gang, you know, we have a good time here, but we gotta move the service along because it becomes more of a, you know, like a club than a church, and that's what we are, so. I'll say that again, I know I'm sure by Easter, but I'm just saying. So, we have a calling in this world, Unitarian Universalist Gene Rode tells us. We are called to honor diversity, to respect differences with dignity, and to challenge those who would forbid it. We are people of a wider path. Let us be wide in affection. Go in peace.
Amen.